Hi, Abe. How are you?
Fine, Mario. How are you?
Good, good.
Good. Oh, getting ready for Shoshana?
Almost there.
Oh,
Hello, Mario.
yeah.
Hello. Hello, Abe.
Hello. How are you, Walter?
Good.
Well.
Hello.
Goed was available.
Okay, fine.
Today's class will take 3 minutes.
Okay, new Perek Shishi.
Okay.
Amoicher Peros, Sadik Beis.
Ernie, sorry, are you coming to Mincha?
Yes.
You put it yourself in there? Yeah, no.
Amoicher Peros Chavero. Person is selling seeds, wheat, barley, beans, where he could be selling it for people to eat, the seeds, or to plant. And the person who bought it, Zaran Velot Samchu. The person bought it and planted it, and they didn't grow. Va'afilu zera pishtim. Even if he bought flax, usually people don't eat flax seeds. You can eat it, but in general, it was bought for seeding purposes. Eino chayiv b'achriyusim. The seller's not. There's no guarantee because the buyer didn't say specifically, "I'm buying it for seeding," and the seller can say, "I thought you're going to use it to eat." So that's why he's not chayiv to make the buyer whole. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Omer Zarine Gina She'ena Necholim, the seeds that clearly are planted and not for eating purposes. So chayiv b'achri yusuf. So if the seller sells it and the guy plants it and it doesn't grow, he's chayiv to make him whole, to make tos. So itmar hamoicher shor lechaveru. You sell an ox. Now, people sold oxes for shchita. Person's going to buy an ox and shecht it for the meat. More commonly, it was sold for plowing purposes. They are going to work as the source of the power for plowing, and it was actually more money if you bought a plow ox. So the seller sells an ox, v'nimsa nakhan, and it turns out that he gores or he kicks. You can't use him for plowing. I mean, you could shecht him, but Rav Amar is a mekach tos. Rav says the buyer can get his money back because it's a mekach tos. But Ushmuel Amar yachol omer lo rishchita mechartiv. Shmuel can say, listen, I sold it to you for shchita purposes, and you can shecht it. Now, the Gemara says, why is there a doubt here? Lexi, what kind of buyer is this? Is it someone who normally buys? He's a butcher. He was buying meat all the time to shecht. So l'nechsasa, it's obviously for shchita purposes. And therefore, even though he's a nakhan, he doesn't have a right to get his money back because you can shecht it. Iliridia, if he's a purchaser that's always buying oxen to plow, he's an agricultural worker, so clearly he bought it liridia. And since he's a nakhan, you can't use him to plow, so he gets his money back. So what's this big kasha? So the Gemara says, the debate between Rav and Shmuel is begavid zavin la'achil hachi. This guy's a big operator. He buys cattle for shchita, and he buys cattle for plowing, both. So the Gemara says it still shouldn't be a safek. Lechsi demei hekininu. What was the price? Meaning a price for a plow oxen is much greater than when you just buy an animal for shechita purposes. Let's just see what was the price that was paid. So the Gemara says, in a regular case, you could do that, but lo tzricha, the yakar b'isra v'kambit meridia. Meat is very scarce. The price of meat has gone up to the point where it's the same value that you would pay for if you were buying it for plowing. So that's the debate between Rav and Shmuel. Well, if the price is the same, then what's the claim? Why is there any claim by the buyer? He's not losing anything because the price is the same, whether he shechts it or whether he uses it for plowing. Yeah, says the Gemara, but nafkamina l'tircha. Listen, this guy's not a shoichet. He has to go around and find a shoichet or hire a shoichet, whatever, and buy a noob. And if he needs a ox for plowing purposes and he's going to shecht it because he's a nakkan, he's got to go find another ox. So it's a tircha. So it's a mekach tos according to Rav. So therefore the buyer can demand his money back. And Shmuel says no. Still the Gemara wants to refine the case. Hey chidami, what's exactly the case? Let's say the buyer cannot get paid back from the seller because the seller has already spent the money that he got for the ox. So big deal. Yaakov Torah Bezuzi. Fine, he doesn't need to get paid with money. Just hold on to the ox until he does get paid. The Amri Inchi min Moirish's Cheparia Para. I can get paid back with anything, with straw, with grain. So I'll accept the value of the ox. No, we are talking about a case where the seller has money. So Rava Mariza Mekachtos, Basaruba Zlina, Veruba Liridiazav. We use the principle of rov. The majority of people, when they buy ox, they buy it for plowing purposes. So therefore, we go after rov, and therefore, since it's not the ox has been found to be a goring ox, you can't use it for plowing purposes. So he gets his money back. But Shmuel Amnachakiyah Basaruba, that's Bisura. Where does rov come into play? That's Be'isr Veheter. The Mamona Lohochim. But by Mammon, we use, of course, we don't use rov, we use the old principle, he's muchzik in the shore. We can bring him a raya, some evidence that the guy had bought it for one way or the other that benefits the seller. If he can bring him a raya that he had bought it for meat purposes, so fine, it won't be a mekach tos, but up until then, I'm keeping it until you pay me my money back. But where do we see the principle of rov be'isr veheter? The famous case is Tesha Chanuyos. You have 10 butcher shops, 9 kosher, and 1 treif. And you find a piece of meat outside on the street, not within the store, but outside. So the famous sugya says, we go call meruba porish. We say if it's separated from the rov. Since there's 9 butcher shops, even if there were 6 versus 4, we would say the piece of meat is kosher because we go after rov when it comes to isra v'heter. But by mammonis, we don't follow the principle of statistics or rov. Siman Isha Evet Shor Shvorma pairs. Okay, Meisvei. Ha'isha Shishan Almana on his Garsha. A woman is widowed or comes with a divorce. Vihiom, and I don't have my ksuba. It's lost. The omeris, the ksuba would say clearly whether she was a basula when she got married, and she's deserving of 200 in payment of her ksuba. But if the ksuba says that she was an almana, she was not a basula, or an isgarsha, means she wasn't a basula, she'd only get 100. But they don't have the ksuba, and she's claiming basula nisesi. I was a basula when I got married. No, I married you when you were a widow. I only owe you 100. So, if there are edim that the hinuma is like a veil. Some say it's a chariot. And she went with an uncovered hair. Only a basula would go to the chuppah with uncovered hair. So if there's edim that testify to that, ksubasa masayim, then she gets 200. Well, time of the ike edim, haleka edim low. But if there are no edim, she doesn't get. Now, why? If we're going to say we're going to follow rov, even by mamon, lema halachacha rov anoshim. The rov noshim basulos. This is, if you took a survey, most women when they get married, they're basulos. So based on rov, we should pay her masayim. Obviously, we don't. So again, it's a kasha on the one who says that you can go after rov for mominus as well. So the Gemara says that's not approved. Yes, rov noshim basulos nisos, but we have miut amonis. You do have a minority who are widowed. But kolanisas psula yesh la kol. When a girl got married when she was a psula, everyone knew about it. Now here, zu hoyel vein la kol. Here there's no kol. So Isra le ruba, the rove that she has is weakened. So maybe you would say if you had a regular rove, if there was no kol against it, you would paskin that she gets masai. And that's why here it's only you need edim, but otherwise not. Well, says the Gemara, "Ikol anisos basulos ishlen kol." If it's true that every time a girl gets married, there's a kol when she's a basula, ki ike edim mai havi. Then why are we listening to these edim? Meaning Leslie kol sadi shakranin. There was no kol. These edim are coming to say she was a basula. Maybe these edim are lying. So a different reason. Elarova nisos basulos ishlen kol. Yes. The majority of women who get married, they're basulos, and it has a kol. Vizu hoyel ve'ein la kol, Israel eruba. Her rov was weakened because there was no kol, like we said before. But it's not a clear disproof against whether you go, but really you could say, even by mominus, you go after rov. Toshma, hamoicher eved lechaveru. You sell an eved knani. V'nimtza ganav kuvustas. He's a thief, or he plays dice. Higio. The sale is a good sale. The buyer cannot say it's a mekach tos. However, listim mezuyin o muchtav l'malchus. If he's an armed robber, or he has a verdict against him from the government to be put to death. So the buyer says to the seller, take him back and give me back my money. So the Gemara doesn't understand. Reisha, where is a gana for a kavustis, my time, why do we say that in Mekach Tos? Isn't it lav mishum deruva hachi isnu? Most avodim are ganovim, or they're gamblers. So we rely on the rov, even by mominus. So the Gemara gives an answer. We'll continue this tomorrow.
Okay. At what time tomorrow?